Welcome to the Companion Chapel Everyday Bible Study broadcast. My name is Mike, coming to you from the Great Lakes area of beautiful Ontario, Canada, on this gorgeous Sunday, January 26, 2025, coming right up. It is the book of Judges, starting at chapter 17. That's your cue. You know what to do. Open your Bibles to Judges chapter 17, and while you're doing that, please first consider your part in the many-member body of Christ. Help glorify, magnify, and broadcast the message of Christ's love out to her hurting world through this registered nonprofit ministry. Please go to companionchapel.com and smash that donate button. If you have $5 or $1 million, whatever's in your heart, nonprofit means all provisions provided go to God's purposes. And please email me at companionchapel@gmail.com. companionchapel.com. Thank you very much for the donations so far. Judges chapter 17. Let's do this. Let's get right into this here. I want to see if I can finish the book of Judges today. And there was a man of Mount Ephraim whose name was Micah. And he said unto his mother, the 1,100 shekels of silver that were taken from thee, about which thou cursest and spakest of all also in my ears, behold, the silver is with me. I took it. And his mother said, Blessed be thou of the Lord my son. And when he had restored the 1,100 shekels of silver to his mother said, I have wholly dedicated the silver unto the Lord from my hand for my son, to make a graven image, that's bad, and a molten image, that's bad. Now therefore I will restore it unto thee. Yet he restored the money unto his mother, and his mother took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder. Who's the founder? The guy's pounding metal, who made thereof a graven image and a molten image, and they were in the house of Micah. There you go. It's a fake church right there. And the man Micah had a house of gods and made an ephod and a teraphim. A teraphim is just something that they carried around. Today it's like the cross. You see them doing it. Peace out, man. And consecrated one of his sons who became his priest. It's not possible to consecrate your own son to become a priest. God does that. But anyways, it's all set up. We got a holy church rolling here. It's a holy churchy church of Micah with his son. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that was right in his own eyes. So at least it seems like he's trying. Okay, he's a Levitical priest, but does he got the Levitical manuscripts? It's only 5 books. This is the 7th book. Anyways, let's see what happens. In those days there was no king. Every man did right in his own eyes. And there was a young man out of Bethlehem, Judah. It's just a little city south of Jerusalem, of the family of Judah, who was a Levite, and he sojourned there. And the man, where are we? And the man departed out of the city from Bethlehem, Judah, to sojourn where he could find a place. And he came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, as he journeyed. I take it back. I don't think Micah was of the house of... I don't know, it didn't say. Anyways, I jumped the gun and said he was of the house of Levi. I don't know if he was. It doesn't matter. Let's just continue here. Maybe it will tell us in the future. A Levite was supposed to be in each tribe, to be a priest. But this is the great apostasy, the great falling away from the truth. And people act like they're priesty priests, and they priesty at a churchy church. And let's just see what happens to this preachy churchy church. And Micah said unto him, Whence comest thou? And he said unto him, I am a Levite of Bethlehem, Judah, and I go to sojourn where I may find a place to serve God. And Micah said unto him, Dwell with me, and be unto me a father and a priest, and I will give you 10 shekels of silver by the year, and a suit of apparel, and thy victuals. So the Levite went in. There he's got his spot. You got a Levite as a priest, you got Micah and his son. Excuse me. And the Levite was content to dwell with the man. And the young man was unto him as one of his sons. And Micah consecrated the Levite also, like he did his son. He said, you are a priest now. And did they have a set of manuscripts? I don't think so. Okay, consecrated the Levite, and the young man became his priest and was in the house of Micah. And today, do they have the manuscripts? Yeah, they damn well do. Everybody does. You can just get them online. You can order them right to your front door. Like, you can just get them. It's all over the place. Do they read them with understanding? No. No, they don't. Okay? They just don't do it. Just be careful. Are they teaching you the Bible chapter by chapter, verse by verse? Or are they a grand wizard of being a inspirational speaker and using the Bible as a random book of quotes? Just be very careful. Levite was content, consecrated the Levite, and the young man became his priest. He's in the house of Micah. Then said Micah, now, know I that the Lord will do me good, seeing that I have a Levitical priest in my house. Okay, Micah wanted to serve God. He was biblically illiterate. That's just the way it goes today. This is biblical illiteracy in the house of Micah. And in those days there was no king in Israel. And in those days the tribe of the Danites, children of Dan, sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto this day all their inheritance. Okay, they had not fallen into them among the tribes of Israel. That's not true. That's what they're saying. We know that they got their inheritance. It was on the east side of the river of Jordan. Anyways, and the children of Dan sent of their family 5 men from their coasts, their boundaries, men of valor from Zorah to Eshtaol to spy into the land to search it. And they said unto them, go search the land. You guys do it. Go search the land. Who, when they came to Mount Ephraim, to the house of Micah, they lodged there. And when they were at the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite, and they turned in thither and said unto him, who brought you here? What are you doing here? What makest thou this place? What hast you here? Okay, they knew who it was. And he said unto them, thus and thus dealeth Micah with me, and hath hired me, and I am his priest. You can't just be one man's priest anyways. That's the way she rolls here. 5. And they said unto him, ask counsel, we pray thee, of God, Elohim, God here, that we may know whether our way which we shall go should be prosperous. Dan's asking this fake priest to pray to God, Elohim. And the priest said unto them, go in peace before the Lord Jehovah. In your way therein you go. You go ahead. You have it. Then the 5 men departed and came to Lachish, or Lachish, means lion. It's near Judah. Where are we here? Let's just keep with the map. I like the comments about the map. That's good. This is the Mediterranean Sea. And this is Israel today. Here's the Dead Sea. Here's the Sea of Galilee, the Jordan River, and we're fighting in this general area, okay? And it's still the same today. It's the same people fighting. You know, it's just crazy stuff and things. Anyways, okay, so we're in Laish. It's a place in Judah. And saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless, after the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure. There was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything. And they were far from the Zidonians. And they had no business with any man. This was a self-contained area. They didn't worry about stuff. They just made it through the day. What can we say about this place? And just look into this verse, quiet and secure. What does that mean? Well, it probably means it's arising from that they were isolated. Were they really that isolated? They were isolated. There was probably malaria there, so people say. Anyways, we're just going to continue on. They were quiet and secure. They didn't have anyone in charge of them. They were Zidonians. It doesn't matter. Okay? And they came to their brethren, to Zorah and Eshtaol, and their brethren said unto them, what say ye? What's going on here? And they said, arise that we may go up against them. For we have seen the land, and behold, it was very good. And are you still? Be not slothful and go to enter to possess the land. Okay, there's no arguing here. These guys saw these people just living the way they're living. Let's go possess their land. Let's go get it. Let's urgently go get it. When you go, you shall come unto a people secure, and to a large land. For God hath given it into our hands, your hands, a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth. That's the Danites talking to other Danites, okay? That's the 5 spies that went out talking to other Danites. They didn't ask the Lord. They didn't ask anything. For God, that's Elohim again. All right, so anyways, And there went out from thence of the family of the Danites out of Zorah and out of Eshtaol 600 men appointed with weapons of war, and they went up and pitched in Kirjath Jearim in Judah, that's close to this city, wherefore they called that place Mahanadan unto this day. Behold, it is behind Kirjath Jearim, and Kirjath Jearim means city of the forest. And they passed thence unto Mount Ephraim, and came into the house of Micah. Then answered the 5 men that went out to spy the country of Laish, and said unto their brethren, okay, you guys, listen up. Do you know that there is in these houses an ephod and teraphim, a graven image, a molten image? Now therefore consider what we have to do. He's talking about this, what was his name again? Micah's house with this priest guy. Okay. Just consider that. Now these children, Dan, aren't mentioned in Revelation chapter 7. Just consider that also. Okay. We're just seeing how this plays into end time prophecy. It's just one book. It's all about salvation. Getting your butt out of here. That's on an individual basis. Okay, this is what these guys all do together. They're acknowledging this false church. Verse 15, and they turned thitherward and came to the house where the young man, the Levite, even to the house of Micah, and saluted him. Oh, it's so pretty here. It's so nice. And the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entering of the gate. They were all gathered together, 600 men. And the 5 went into the house of Micah. The 5 men that went to spy out the land went up and came in thither, and took the graven images, and the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. And the priest stood in the entering of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with the weapons of war. And what's going on here, man? These idol worshippers. And these went into Micah's house, and fetched the carved image, the ephod, and the teraphim, and the molten image. Then said the priest unto them, What are you going to do? You have a chance to be an instant big shot here. And they said unto him, Hold thy peace, lay thy hand upon the mouth, be quiet, and go with us, and be with us a father and a priest. Is it better for thee to be a priest unto the house of one man, or that thou be a priest unto the tribe of the whole family of Israel? What's it better? Come and be a priest to us. Let's go, man. Let's do this. And the priest's heart was glad, and he took up the ephod and the teraphim and the graven image, and went in the midst of the people. And they turned and departed, and put the little ones in the cattle in their carriage before them. Okay, this is the people of this area of Micah. Okay, so just get that clear. And when they were a good way away from the house of Micah, the men that were in the houses near Micah's house were gathered together and overtook the children of Dan. Interesting. And they cried unto the children of Dan. And they turned their faces and said unto Micah, What aileth thee, that thou comest with such a company? And he said, this is what Micah said, You have taken away my gods which I made, and the priests, and you are gone away. And what have I more? I don't have anything else. What is this that you say unto me? What aileth thee? What are you guys talking about? They're boo-hooing here. You got heathens against heathens. Okay, they think they have God, but they have a fake God. That's what Satan is. He's the great imitator. That's why they call him the Antichrist, the instead of Christ, because he acts like Christ. He looks like Christ. People are going to think he's Christ, and they're going to follow him. That's what we did. That's why we're here in the flesh bodies, because we all followed Satan. In the last earth age, this is our opportunity. You have 100 years or less to come into accordance, to get back into harmony, back into accordance with God's universe, his rules. This is what he wrote. He gave us a simple book. If someone's making it confusing or says it's confusing, just back away. If you can help them, help them. But if you're getting attacked, it's time to drift, man. See you later. Have a great life wherever you're going. And we know where they're going. We're pray for these people. These guys had all the religious artifacts and the alleged priests. And the children of Dan said unto him, Let not thy voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows run upon me, and thou lose thy life with the lives of thy household. Dan's saying, hey, you better watch your pie hole. Be quiet. With 600 guys here ready to rock. And the children of Dan went their way. And when Micah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back into his house. Okay, go back into your house. This is the only set of instructions that we have. It's this book here. Okay, if you want to play church, there's lots of places to play church. Go play church. And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priests which he had, and came to Laish, unto a people that were at a quiet and secure. And they smote them with the edge of the sword, and burnt the city with fire. Because they probably thought they had malaria there. There was a problem there. There's no doubt about it. And there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon, and they had no business with any man. And it was in the valley that was lieth by Beth Raab, which is the house of the street. And they built a city, and dwelt therein, at the house of the street, Beth Raab. And they called the name of the city Dan, after the name of Dan, their father, who was born in Israel. Howbeit the name of the city was Laish at first. And the children of Dan set up the graven image. Here's a big verse here that you can only catch if you go back to the manuscripts. I'm going to read it how it's read in the manuscripts. The children of Dan set up the graven image. And Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Moses, he and his sons were priests in the tribe of Dan until the day of the captivity of the land. And they set them up Micah's graven image which he made. All the time that the house of God was in Shiloh, the house of God was over there. These guys set up this house of God. Jonathan's name becomes Shebiel in the book of Chronicles, just so you know. Shebiel means he returned to God. We'll just leave that at that. Let's go to chapter 19 of the great book of Judges. And it came to pass in those days, when there was no king in Israel, that there was a certain Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim, who took him to a concubine out of Bethlehem, Judah. And his concubine played the whore against him, and went away from him unto her father's house to Bethlehem, Judah. And there was 4 months. In 4 months, she just took off. Now this all connects, so just stick with me here. And her husband arose and went after her to speak friendly unto her, and to bring her again, having his servant with him and a couple of asses. And she brought him into her father's house. And when the father of the damsel saw him, he rejoiced to meet him. Let's go back to the first verse here. This word concubine is just woman in the manuscripts. So you had a woman, okay? The second verse, concubine is concubine, Pilagash, and played the whore, and whore is Zana, against him. And she went back to her father's house. Okay, so she took off. And he goes and follows her. There's a big problem here. This was a Levite sojourning on the side of Mount Ephraim. This guy didn't know nothing either. And it came to pass on the 4th day, when they arose early in the morning, that they rose to depart, the damsel's father said to the son-in-law, "Hey, little Levi, come here, comfort thy heart with a morsel of bread, and have a little drinky poo." Yeah, we're going to have a little drinky poo, toast your ride, and afterward go your way. And they sat down, and they did eat and drinky pooed. Want a little shot of vodka here? All right, come on, drive it into you, be somebody. Both of them together, the damsel's father said, "The man, be content, I pray thee, tarry all night, and let thy heart be merry." Booze and drugs here. And when the man rose up to depart, his father-in-law urged him. Therefore he lodged there again. And he arose early in the morning on the 5th day to depart, and the damsel's father said, "Comfort thy heart, I pray thee." They tarried into the afternoon. They did eat, both of them. Okay, and 6 p.m. is the end of the day. The end of a Hebrew day. So here we go. We're up on the 6th day. Behold, and the man rose up to depart, and his concubine and his servant, his father-in-law, and his damsel's father said unto him, "Behold, now the day draweth towards evening. I pray you, tarry all night. Behold, the day groweth to an end. Lodge here, that the heart be merry. And tomorrow get you early on your way, that thou mayest go home." But the man would not tarry that night. He rose up and departed, and came over against Jebus, which is Jerusalem. And it wasn't really Jerusalem until David took it, but let's just leave that at that. Jebus, Jebusites were there, and yeah, that's a problem. Who didn't kick them out? The sons of Benjamin. Watch this come together now with the last couple chapters. And there was unto him 2 asses saddled, his concubine also with him. And they went where the Jebusites the day was far spent, and the servant said unto his master, they're in the land of Jebusites, come, I pray thee, and let us turn in into the city of the Jebusites, let us lodge in it. And his master said unto him, we will not turn aside hither into the city of a stranger, until there is not children of Israel here. We will pass over to Gibeah. Okay, Gibeah. That was the resident of Saul, a city of the Gibeonites, or Gibeah. Who else was of Gibeah? The Hittites. Remember that? They worked their way in. And he said unto his servant, come, and let us draw near unto one of these places to lodge all night in Gibeah or in Ramah. And they passed on their way, and the sun went down upon them when they were in Gibeah, which belongeth to Benjamin. This is the 6th day. Compare this to the 6th day today. The sixth day. We're in the 6th day. The great apostasy, the great falling away from the truth. This is it. It's happening all around us right now. Society turned this day. We are living these events. Just the great falling away from the truth. Every time you think you're getting told the truth, you're not. You got to be very careful that someone can back it up with what they're saying. And it's not, it doesn't come from science, it comes from the Bible. Okay, because science relies on interpretations of incomplete sets of evidence. They've selected observation, and they just put it all together. Let's just stay on subject here before I get too far off. And they passed and went their way. The sun went down. They were in Gibeah, which belonged to Benjamin, and they turned aside thither to go in to lodge in Gibeah. And when they went in, he sat down in the street, for there was no man that took them into his house lodging. And behold, there came an old man, some old guy coming home from work in the field that evening, which was also of Mount Ephraim, and he sojourned in Gibeah. But these men of the place were the Benjamites. Okay, these guys that were tripping around. And when he lifted up his eyes, he saw a wayfaring man in the city streets. And the old man said, Where are you going? And when did you come from? And they said unto him, We are passing from Bethlehem, Judah, toward the side of Mount Ephraim. From thence am I, and I went to Bethlehem, Judah, but I am now going to the house of the Lord. And there is no man that receiveth me to their house. Listen, man, I'm stuck in the middle here. Yes, there is both straw and provender for your asses, and there is bread and wine also for me, and for thy handmaid, and for the young man, which is with thy servants. There is no want of anything. There's no burden. I got a safe place. Let's go. The old man said, Peace be with thee. However, let all thy wants lie upon me, and only don't lodge in the street. You can't stay in this. Think of our streets today. You can't just lodge in the streets, okay? Someone's going to come along and rip off your stuff. Something's going to happen. It's not good. So he brought him into his house and gave provender unto the asses, and they washed their feet and did eat and had a drinky poo. 22. Now as they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, certain sons of Belial, worthless people, scoundrels, sons of the devil. That's what they had in their minds. Pure perversion. It's the same as our media today. Watch this come together. Besat the house round about, and beat at the door, and spake unto the master of the house, the old man, saying, Bring forth the man that came into thy house, that we may know him. Yeah, we've been drinking too, but you just better do it. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said, Nay, my brethren, nay, I pray you, do not do so wickedly, seeing this man is coming to my house. Don't do this folly, trying to negotiate with these heathen people. Okay, try and do that today, right? Yeah, just watch yourself wherever you're living. And the man, the master of the house, went out unto them and said unto them, Nay, my brethren, don't do this folly. Behold, here is my daughter, a maiden, and his concubine. I'll bring them now and humble them unto you, and do with them what seemeth good unto you. But unto this man don't do such a vile thing. The old man thought the perverts wouldn't take the woman, but obviously they took the woman, and they killed the woman. But the men would not hearken to him. So the man took his concubine and brought her forth unto them, and they knew her and abused her all night until the morning. And when the day began to spring, they let her go. That's just crazy. Think about this, what's going on here. This is absolutely insanity. Yeah, they just did what they wanted to. with this woman. They killed her. These men of Belial killed this woman. They came to the woman in the dawning of the day and fell down at the door of the man's house where her Lord was until it was light. She was too weak to pass the threshold. They killed her. And the Lord rose up early in the morning, opened the doors of the house, and went out to go his way. And behold, the woman, his concubine, was fallen down at the door of the house, and her hands were upon the threshold. You have to defend yourself. This is spiritually speaking. Today we become Christ's bride. And we get abused daily. Extreme, perverted minds led by Satan's four dynasties. The dynasty of politics. Daniel chapter 4:17. All politicians in charge today will be the base men of planet Earth. Money is their god. Big time. Money. I'll leave that at that. Commerce. That's another one of Satan's four hidden dynasties. Money. Political systems. Media. And religious leaders are his four hidden dynasties. They're not so hidden, are they? He said unto her, Up, let us go. This is verse 28 of Judges 19. Didn't answer. The man took her on his ass, rose up, and gat him into his place. She's dead. The concubine whore is dead. And when he was coming to his house, he took a knife and laid it on his concubine, divided her together with her bones, 12 pieces, and sent it to all the coasts of Israel, all the borders of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it said, There is no such deed done, nor seen from the day that the children of Israel come up out of the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider of it, take advice, speak about it to each other. The concubine did not make it past the threshold. That's what's being said here. There's a lesson for us today. The many-member body of Christ, that's you, that's me. Are you going to make it past the threshold? I know you are if you're watching this. I know it. Chapter 20 of the book of Judges. And we have 20 and 21 to go. Let's see how much time we got. Yeah, we got time, man. Let's do this. Chapter 20 of the great book of Judges. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered together as one man from Dan even to Beersheba, to the land of Gilead, unto the Lord of Mizpah. Okay, one man. That means all of them, everybody, all of Daniel was gathered together. Every man having the same attitude of agreement. Well, be careful here. And the chief of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 footmen that drew the sword. That's a lot, 400,000. Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were gone up to Mizpah. That means place of safety or something like that. Then said the children of Israel, Tell us how was this wicked? How did this happen, this wicked deed happen? And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was slain, answered and said, I came into Gibeah that belonged to Benjamin, and my concubine to lodge. He's sharing the story with 400,000 people. And they're going to get going here. Watch this. And the men of Gibeah rose up against me, and besat the house round about me by night, and thought to have slain me and my concubine. Have they forced that she is dead? They killed her. And I took my concubine and cut her in pieces and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel. For they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. Behold, you are the children of Israel. Give her your advice and counsel. What's your advice on this? And all the people rose up as one. Over how many people? 400,000 or 600,000? I forget. They rose up as one. We will not any of us go into his tent, neither will any of us turn into his house. But now, this is the thing which we shall do to Gibeah. We will go up by lot against the whole town, and we will make 10 men of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and all the 100 of thousands and the thousands of 10,000s, to fetch the victual for the people, that they may do when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin. This is Daniel against Benjamin, his own brother, according to all the folly that they have wrought in Israel. So the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. They had one thing in mind. We're going to get these guys. Okay? And the tribe sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, what wickedness is that you have done? Now therefore deliver us the men, the children of Belial, which are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death and put evil from Israel. But the children of Benjamin would not hearken the voice of their brethren, the children of Israel. The children of Benjamin would not listen to the children of Israel. Why? Because they were scared of these men? Or they didn't want to cleanse the land like they were supposed to when they went in there, which they did not do? There's a lot of disobedience going on here. Maybe they liked it. I don't know about that. But anyways, yeah, why would they not want this cleansed out? The children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities unto Gibeah to go into battle against the children of Israel. No, we're not going to clean this out, man. This is the way it is. Now get lost. Benjamin versus Ephraim, two brothers going at it here. Let's do this. And the children of Benjamin were numbered at that time out of the cities 20 and 6,000 men that drew the sword, besides the inhabitants of Gibeah, which were numbered 700 chosen men. So we had Gibeonites and Benjamites. Here's the army here. Among all these people, and don't forget who the Gibeonites were. Gibeonites, B, not Gideon. This is Gibeonites, the Hittites of the fallen angels. Descendants of the fallen angels, the Nephilim and the Rephaim. Read very carefully. Among all this people, there were 700 chosen men left-handed. Hey, that's those 700 of the Gibeonites. Everyone could sling stones at a hair and not miss. Hey, they didn't even need bows and arrows, man. They could throw. Like today. Only today they throw with words, but they still throw stones. We see it on the media every day. What's going on in Israel? It's just crazy. Just crazy. From both sides. It's absolutely crazy. Anyways, let's just keep reading here. And the children of Israel rose and went up to the house of God. Let's see, what is this word God here? Elohim. And asked the counsel of God and said, which of us shall go first in the battle of the children of Benjamin? And the Lord said, Judah shall go. Send Judah. So obviously they went into the house of God and they asked, and the house of God would have been where Phinehas is. Okay. The children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah and destroyed down to the ground of the Israelites that day 20 and 2,000 men. That's a big score. And the people of the men of Israel encouraged themselves and set their battle again in array in the place where they put themselves in array the first day. And the children of Israel went up and wept before the Lord until evening, and asked counsel, saying, of the Lord, saying, shall I go up again to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? The Lord said, go for it. Go up against them. And the children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day, and Benjamin went forth against them out of Gibeah the second day and destroyed down to the ground the children of Israel, again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. We have 40,000 down now of the children of Israel. 40,000. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came to the house of God and wept and sat there before the Lord and fasted that day until evening and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord. They're doing it right this time. And the children of Israel inquired of the Lord, for the ark of the covenant of God was there in those days, and Phinehas was there in those days. What are you doing for Jesus Christ today in these days? How are you going to get yourself past the threshold? It's on an individual basis. But anyway, here's Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it, the ark of the covenant in those days. Shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother, or shall I cease? And the Lord said, go up, for tomorrow I'll deliver them into thy hand. It seems like it would be really hard to fight your own brother. You know that? Like you can't negotiate anything. Is there anything new under the sun? Well, you want to go fight these guys? Go fight them, okay? That's your problem. Go fight them. Okay, this time I'll give them to you. And Israel set liars in wait round about Gibeah. Okay, this is a military strategy. They're going to set up a big ambush. And the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day and put themselves in array against Gibeah, as at other times. You're going to draw them out now. And the children of Benjamin went out against the people and were drawn away from the city. And they began to smite of the people and kill, as at other times, in the highways, of which one goeth up to the house of God, and the other to Gibeah in the field. About 30 men of Israel and the children of Benjamin said, they are smitten down before us. It's the same old here. But the children of Israel said, let us flee and draw them from the city into the highways. Military ambushes all set up. And all the men of Israel rose up out of their places, put themselves in array at Baal Tamor. That's the house of the palm trees. And the liers in wait of Israel came forth out of their places, even as shadows out of the meadows. Anyways, even out of the meadows of Gibeah. And there came against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of all Israel. And the battle was sore. And they knew not that the evil was near. And here comes God. Okay, does God like either side here? No. But at least they followed instruction, followed Phinehas. Okay, and Phinehas was standing there. And the Lord smote Benjamin before Israel. The Lord did it. And the children of Israel destroyed of the Benjamites that day 25,100 men. All these drew the sword. It just about wiped them all out. So the children of Benjamin saw they were smitten, for the men of Israel gave the places of the Benjamites to the Benjamites, because they trusted in their liers in wait, which they had set beside Gibeah. Ambush. And the liers in wait hasted and rushed upon Gibeah. And the liers in wait drew themselves along and smote all the cities with the edge of the sword. Everybody in there, just kill everybody. Now there was an appointed sign between the men of Israel and the liers in wait, that they should make a great flame with smoke rise out of the city. They're going to burn it down. And when the men of Israel retired, that's the children, the Danites, the men of Israel, retired in the battle, Benjamin began to smite and kill the men of Israel, about 30 persons. For they said, surely they are smitten down before us, as in the first battle. This is a recap. But when the flame began to arise up out of the city, okay, with the pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the flame of the city ascended up to heaven. So the Benjamites and the Israelites are the same. All right. Okay, so now there's a huge fire, and when the men of Israel turned again, the Benjamites were amazed. They saw all the evil that was come upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Israel unto the way of the wilderness, but their battle overtook them, and them which came out of the cities they destroyed in the midst of them. Thus they enclosed the Benjamites round about, and chased them, and trode them down with ease over against Gibeah towards the sunrise. And Gibeah just means like hill. Like, this is a big hill. There's several cities, really big area. Okay, this is just between the Dead Sea and it's around the Dead Sea in that area. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these men were of valor, and they turned and fled towards the wilderness unto the rock of Rimmon. And they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and pursued hard after them unto Gidom, and slew 2,000 men. So that all which fell that day of the Benjamites was 25,000 men that drew the sword. All these men were of valor. But 600 men, just valor just means they were just ready to rock, okay? They were armed and ready to go. But 600 men turned and fled to the wilderness. 600. Okay, that's important. Into the wilderness, unto the rock Rimmon, and abode in the rock Rimmon 4 months. And the men of Israel turned again upon the children of Benjamin, and smote them with the edge of the sword, as well as the men of every city as the beast, and that came into hand. And they also set on fire the cities that they came to. Okay, so you got 600 guys sitting in Rimmon now. 600 Benjamites. Down to 600. Just think about that. This is a major cleansing. Chapter 21 of the great book of Judges. Let's finish this up. Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, there shall not any of us give his daughter unto Benjamin, his wife. We're not giving them anybody. And all the people came to the house of God and abode there till the evening before God and lifted up their voices. And everybody wept sore. This is our brother, man. Like, we're going to do this for real? And said, O Lord God of Israel, why has this come to pass in Israel that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel? And it came to pass on the morrow, the next day, that the people rose early and built there an altar and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. And the children of Israel said, that's the children of Dan, and anyone that joined in there, it was just the Danites, okay? Dan, the children of Israel. Who is there among all the tribes of Israel that came not up with the congregation unto the Lord? So there was other families besides the Danites, but anyways, it was the Danites, the children of Israel, for they had made a great oath concerning him that came not up to the Lord to Mizpah, saying, he shall surely be put to death. And the children of Israel repented them for Benjamin their brother, and said, there is one tribe cut off from Israel today, this day. How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing we have sworn by the Lord that we should not give them our daughters to wives, because they observed been in this graphic perversion, and they swore to God. So what are we going to do now? And they said, there is one. What one is there, the tribes of Israel, that came not to Mizpah to the Lord? And behold, there came none to the camp of Jabesh Gilead as an assembly. Okay, so we had some of Reuben, half of Manasseh, and Gad there. Anyways, these people. For the people were numbered, and behold, there was none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. Draft dodgers of Jabesh Gilead. I forget what that means anyways. The draft dodgers, they didn't want to fight. We don't want to fight these guys, so they didn't show up. And the congregation sent there 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the woman and the children. They didn't consult God about this, by the way. And this is the thing you shall do. You shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that lain by man. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins. Hey, 400. There's 600 men. This is crazy, by the way. This is absolutely crazy. But this is how perverted it gets. Satan is the adversary. It doesn't make sense what Satan does. You got 400 women, you got 600 men. Alright. Anyways, where were we? Okay, the whole congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock of Rimmon, to call peacefully unto them. Okay, these 600 women, or 400 women. Okay, we got them. Okay, we're going to gather these women. And Benjamin came again at that time. And they gave them wives which they had saved the life of the woman of Jabesh Gilead. And yet they sufficed them not. Okay, you guys can have these people. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribes of Israel. How did the God make a breach? He ordered this cleansing. We got to get rid of some people. God knows your thoughts and intents in real time. God is omnipotent. We're just little minuscule things here on planet Earth. For God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son, and here we are. As a sacrifice, to be sacrificed by a world of people, us, that passed through the matrix once, born innocent of woman, so that we can come to terms with what's inside of us that is not conducive to a place of peace beyond our present comprehension. The kingdom of heaven. So God ordered this cleansing. Is that the way they saw it? I very much doubt it. Women are 200 short. The elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that are remaining, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? They said, there must be an inheritance for them that escaped to Benjamin, that the tribe not be destroyed out of Israel. Okay, there's got to be other people around somewhere. There's 200. How many short? 200 short? Howbeit, we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the children of Israel have sworn, saying, cursed be he that giveth a wife to Benjamin. Because of the vow. Okay, fair enough. They're just carrying on here, making this stuff up. Then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh, yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, on the south of Lebanah. Look at these directions. People didn't even know where the church was. They didn't even know. Look at these directions to tell people how to necessarily get there. What are you talking about? Well, I swear those women dance. That's what Lambor means. Libona. Therefore they commanded the children, okay, you guys go there, and this once a year. You guys of Benjamin saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards. This is creepier and creepier, man. And see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances and come out of the vineyards, and catch you every man as wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go into the land of Benjamin. All right. Fair enough. That's what they did. And it shall be when their fathers or their brethren come up to us to complain, that we will say unto them, be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war, for we did not give unto them at this time, that you should be guilty. What? And the children of Benjamin did so, and took them wives according to their number of them that danced, who they caught, and they went and returned their inheritance, and repaired their cities, and dwelt in them. And here's your key here. And the children of Israel departed at that time, every man to his tribe, to his family, and they went out from thence, every man to an inheritance. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Every man did that was right in his own eyes, and God still intervened to cleanse. Isn't that just the greatest thing? How much time we got here? 46 minutes. Sorry, we better shut her down. I want to thank you very much. That's the Book of Judges for you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. I'd like to see more comments and subscribers, whatever you can do to help glorify and magnify the message of Christ's love out to a hurting world. Jesus Christ came in the volume of the book. He is the Alpha and the Omega. And when you comment, like, and subscribe, you're telling the algorithm, say, let's move these videos along. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourself the greatest day, and bye for now.